Right, we're gonna uncover all of that in our discussion, and I've got a leadership expert on the line today, so I'm very excited to have Mr. Enrique Acosta Gonzalez on the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rollis, for allowing me to come on your show and share a little bit of the wisdom.
Awesome. Well, I know it's going to be a lot. I'm looking forward to it. And guys in the comments, let me know what you guys are thinking. What are you here for? You're here for growth. If you're here for growth, you're in the right place. Let us know where you're signing in from, what city, what state, what country. I'm gonna be looking at my iPad here to make sure that we are online. I'm also gonna be looking at your comments as we go along. So let's see here. Let's see if we're cooking. I think we are cooking. Let's see here. Yeah, we're cooking with grease. We're looking good, guys. I'm very excited. Oh, there we go. Oops, sorry, I got a little feedback there because I had my iPad on. Okay, I just turned the volume down. Okay, very good. So glad you guys could join us today. We are talking about how you can grow by sharing. Okay, that's kind of an interesting thought here. Um, First of all, Enrique, I'd love for you to give us, just to kind of give us a tidbit, like a summary of what we're going to talk about. What's that key point that we're talking about? What are we sharing? And how is that going to help us grow? If you could summarize it.
Yeah, just quickly, everybody that is in leadership positions right now have one mandate, and that's to grow future leaders. And you can't do that if you keep all your secrets. And so that is the key to true success. And when you're talking about mentorship and coaching, those that are coming up behind you, because we truly should be working our way out of a job, right, as leaders. But what we find is that for the sake of trying to save your job, you keep your secrets, and that's no way to lead. As a matter of fact, you stifle and bring down your future leaders by, and then what happens is that they get in that position, and then now they have to perform, but you've been keeping all your secrets.
Great point. Great point. Okay, so we're gonna guys, we're definitely gonna tackle this subject. But if you've got particular questions you want to ask, feel free and pipe in with your questions. We do read comments. I do want this to be interactive. In fact, we have quite a few folks who have already chimed in, and I appreciate all our supporters like Trevor and Hayden and Norfazila, as well as Joanne, Philip coming in from Edinburgh. Good to have you, my man. Allison Owen, welcome from Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Owen, appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Okay, so again, if you have any questions along the way, let us know. We do want to hear your feedback as we go along. Now, I want to ask you a question here. Why is it that leaders are afraid to lose their job? Because I think if we kind of uncover that, that might help us. Because I do see that there's a sense of security that is sometimes lacking. And so why is that? Why do we see that happen?
Well, there's two reasons that stand out in my head. Number one, you're not financially stable yourself. When you're not financially stable, you try to hold on to whatever it is that's bringing in that income, right? And so that's one reason why. The second reason why is that fear of not being able to provide gets you in a position where you start grabbing everything, and that it includes the future of your people. And so a lot of times we don't realize that for the sake of not losing our livelihood, and really for being short-minded, right, short-sighted and short-minded in the sense of there's so much work out there to be done. You're not going to run out of work. What you may run out of is your capability to lead other types of groups. And so you have that fear of losing your income on top of fear of what's not known, and you start to hold on not only to what you have, but the future of your people.
Makes sense. I remember there was a quote, I think by I want to say it's what's that? Maxwell, where he talked about as soon as you start trying to put that grip to hold on to your power, you've already lost it. That's
Indeed.
yeah, that's what he said. Dr. Owen says you're not grounded in belief of yourself and therefore is intimidated by others' leadership potential is another. Ah,
Yep. Yeah.
yes. That is a good point. Thank you, Dr. Owen. Okay, give me some tips on how we can be a little more grounded. How can we can mentally walk ourselves through? That's kind of it's kind of misleading because we're thinking this may happen, but actually just the opposite. When we're thinking that way,
Right.
just the opposite is going to end up happening. So walk me through how I can feel more comfortable. So pretend I'm one of these leaders that's watching this, and you're convincing me because I feel a little insecure right now. I
Yeah.
feel insecure by my position. Help me walk me through how I should feel a little bit more secure by doing what you're saying, which is sharing.
Well, so the first thing that we have to consider is the leader themselves. How did they get in the position that they are in? If they got in there easy without too much work, then guess what? There hasn't been too much investment in the person. And so that insecurity that the doctor was talking about is the fact that, hey, I might have gotten in this position without too much work. And so I did not have to read those books. I did not have to seek a mentor. I did not have to get a coach. I did not have to sit under somebody for a while. And so what I see a lot of is a pandemic, not just to use that word, but the pandemic is people are getting into leadership positions without rightly being ready for it. And so that being ready for it causes a little anxiety because guess what? When you have to actually perform, those leaders tend to gravitate to those workers that can do the job. And so what they do is they use their people to complete their responsibility and they just make it by. And so the first thing that has to be addressed is the leader. Do an assessment. Don't be afraid anymore. Do an assessment, a complete assessment of your leadership, and find those holes and fill them because that's the only thing that's going to make you comfortable where you are. Anything else is going to be fear-based, and then we all know what happens with a person that performs under fear. They tend to hurt people.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you said assessment.
Hmm.
Okay, well, what assessment? There's tons of
Yeah.
assessments out there. What type of assessment should I be doing in order to check myself, check my leadership skills
Yeah.
and where I'm at?
Yeah. So the first thing I would say is right. So you don't. There are so many assessments, but the very first assessment that I would always recommend is your personality assessment. And then, guess what? Run a personality assessment with your group, and you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see team. Then you'll know what type of leader you need to be, because guess what? Leadership is not about you. I'm a better leader for them because you're there for them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes
So I
100%
would
sense.
start there.
Okay, I like that. Okay, and it says live show just ended. What?
We
What in the
broke the
world?
broke the internet.
Wow. Okay, so guys, I don't know. It just said ended. What do you see on your end, Amanda and Joanne? Are we still live on YouTube and Facebook? If you're, hey, look, if you're live on Facebook and YouTube, can you let us know? Hit a like button or I'm here, or let us know where you're from. We're just trying to see if we're actually still live on the others. Okay. Well, what I would suggest then is hit the off button on the restream. We're just for LinkedIn. Like hit the off button and then turn
Yeah,
it
just
back on and see if that will get us back on because it looks like we're